In just a second. We're waiting for a few more people to sign on. Welcome, everyone. Good morning or good afternoon. I'm Alexandra Bash, Director of Product Management for HighWire. Today, we're going to talk about some of the latest exciting developments for our Scolaris hosting solution, including how it's designed to showcase and manage all different types of content. I'll also talk about how Scolaris supports automated content ingestion to simplify and speed up your publication process. I'll also run through how you can benefit from our very active roadmap development and how your users can access more of your content through powerful search and discovery. Before we get started, I'll just want to let you know I'll be delighted to answer questions at the end of the presentation. You can submit your questions anonymously using the questions box on the GoTo panel. And we'll also list some additional resources that you might find interesting on the final slide, so you can go ahead and download those at your convenience. So, before we dive straight in to Scolaris, I want to give you some context as to where it sits within HighWire's intelligent publishing platform. Using open architecture, the intelligent publishing platform delivers innovative digital assets that work together to create superior user experiences. And this results in remarkable user engagement and also in exciting new revenue opportunities for publishers, both now and well into the future. Creating a platform this way means that we are able to bring components together to meet the needs of each of our publishers. It's not a one-size-fits-all solution. The ability to plug these different components of the platform together helps create a flexible framework on which to build your site, and one that we are continually updating. Our ability to release new features and functionality across the platform helps reduce the need for complex customizations. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. So, what is Scolaris? Well, it's a multi-content type hosting system. And let's talk about what that means. So, users or publishers can put all of their content together in a single place. It's also an end-to-end solution that provides easy integration to other HighWire components like HighWire Identity and HighWire Commerce. And it allows publishers to manage all of that content through a single CMS, which improves efficiency and reduces costs for the publisher. In the next few minutes, I'm going to talk about different aspects of multi-content hosting. And then we'll walk through a live demo where you can see what this looks like on a real site. So we're going to talk first about putting all of that content together. We often hear from publishers who are looking for a way to unify their content. Many publishers have a combination of content types, such as books and journals, but they may not have them on the same site or even on the same platform. Some publishers have additional content types like databases or audio and video, even case studies, but they have no way to bring all these different content types, which evolved in their organization at different times, together on the same platform. Pulling that content together in the same site and making it searchable and discoverable together has many benefits for publishers. And I'll walk through a few of these. The first is in marketing and awareness. With a single site and a single URL, your marketing team can effectively drive traffic for all of your content to one destination and reduce the dilution of effort that is required to direct your customers to multiple different sites. In addition, your best known types of content can help you market your other content types. So, for example, if you as a publisher are best known for your journals, you can easily show a user reading journal articles related content in books that they might not have otherwise discovered. Another advantage of having your content together in one site is the ability to search all of your content simultaneously. With a single search, the user can see how much content is available in each content type and choose to look at any particular content type. And you can see that up in the right of the screen. Scolaris allows you, in addition, to take advantage of taxonomies to tag your content in order to make your content fully browsable. And additional search features like synonyms to make it more discoverable, facets, and here you can see the facets on the lower left, as well as direct Boolean searching to allow users to search for content they're interested in. Search is an integral part of the platform and can be configured per publisher by adjusting relevance to weight what is most important to that publisher and their users. So I mentioned earlier that you can use a single CMS to manage content across content types. And here's an example screen of adding a page to the CMS. For many publishers, managing all of their content can be challenging, particularly if that content is stored in different systems. It requires people to learn those different systems and to maintain those different systems. And publishers often need to edit and create their own marketing and policy content on the site. They need a fast, efficient self-service tool to allow them to make those editorial and marketing changes as needed. Scolaris has an easy-to-use self-service tool that allows publishers to create new pages, add images, change menus, and update content at will. Publishers often need to update editorial policies and add information about their content, or even provide information for different types of users, such as authors or students or advertisers. Scolaris also has role-based content, so different types of users can have different types of access. Someone who is a reviewer only might need read-only access, where an editor might need permission to change content. And this comprehensive tool puts the publisher in the driver's seat for content management. So now that we've talked about how some of the key components work together, let's take a look at them on a live site. And I'm going to show you a multi-content site that has HighWire Identity and HighWire Commerce integrated into it as well. Oops, yeah, look at that. So this is the Springer Connect site, by Springer Publishing. And Springer has chosen to take advantage of the taxonomies. And if you browse by subject, you can see the top level of the taxonomies, but it can also be a multi-level taxonomy. So if we go into medicine, you can see the sub-levels available to the users to direct their search. And now you can also see that this site has different types of content in it, books and journals. We've chosen to feature latest articles as well. You can see the covers for the books and the covers for the journals. And we'll go ahead and take a look at one of those journals. So here's an example of the top level page for a journal. You can see there's basic metadata available and a description of the journal. And it has a multi-tab display that allows you to see the latest articles. You could go to all issues. And it has tabs here that are controlled by the CMS that I mentioned previously. So information on how to submit an article or about this journal is under publisher control, and that can be created by the publisher specifically for that journal. You can also get quickly to the latest issue. So let's take a look at the latest issue. And you can scroll through the articles. Let's take a look at this one. So here we are now down at the article level. Again, you can see the tab display that shows the articles and figures in tables, but you can also see related content. And to the point I made earlier, here you can feature not only article content, but related chapter content from your book material, raising the discoverability of that content to the user, where they may not have known that that existed previously. You can also see basic information about the authors, and if you have it available, author bios. So this might be the article that I was looking for, or I might want to search. So I'm going to go ahead now and search for clinical competence. And you can see that as I type, there's a drop down that will give me suggestions. And I'm going to go ahead and select clinical competence. And now we're on the search screen. So you can see here that I can see results for all of my different content types. I can see the filters available to me in this search, and I can see the results that I have so far. I can also order those results. So let's say I wanted to order them by title. Now they've resorted by title, or I can go back to relevance, or if I wanted to, I could also sort them by date. So 13,000 some odd results seems like a lot to go through, so I'm going to limit this to just book chapters. And now you can see that the number of results has dropped. But to get a more manageable result set, I'll try by keyword as well. And here you can search by keyword. You can choose multiple keywords at the same time and use those to modify your search. I'm going to go ahead and pick patient care. And now I've got a more manageable search result, and we can dive in and take a look at one of those. So let's take a look at the first one. And now I am down at the chapter level. So at the moment, I'm logged in, so I can see the full results. But if I wasn't logged in, I can use Sigma, which is our identity management service, to manage my identity, either logged in or logged out. And now you can see that while I am logged out, I no longer have access to the full content. I have access to the abstract. I can still see the table of contents, and I can still see the book supplementary material. So let's take a look at the supplementary material. And here I can see that there is additional material for this chapter on instructor manual and instructor PowerPoints. And the information tells me that I need to purchase the instructor's edition of this book. So you can create supplementary material for your content, either books or journals, and you can make that content available only to certain users. But let's say that at this point I wanted to actually buy the content because I'm interested in it. So if I click on the yellow bar, I can see that I have a number of different options. The first option is if I had been given a voucher by the publisher, I could use a voucher to get access to this content. The second is that I can actually buy the content, and I can buy it in different forms. I can buy it at the book level if I wanted to buy the whole book, or I could buy the chapter. So let's go ahead and put the chapter in the cart. And you can see now that it automatically goes to my slide out cart on the right, and that will show me all of the items I have in my cart, whether they're from this book or a different book or from a journal. And it'll tell me about any taxation information that might be relevant, whether I was using US taxes or if I was in the UK, for example, and wanted to see VAT. So in order to purchase, I actually do need to log in. So we'll go back to Sigma, which is fully integrated. And now I can log in and it will allow me to purchase. And now you can see that it has actually removed my item from the cart. And the reason for that is the identity management knows what I have access to, and it knows that I've already got that content. It's not going to let me buy it twice. So it is very smart about the way it manages your access and your content as a user. So that's going to end the demo portion. I'm now going to return and talk about a few other aspects of Scolaris itself. So let's talk about automated content ingestion. And this is a really important thing for publishers with different content types. There is a lot of content to ingest, and the content may not all be shaped the same way. But the tools that we have allow you to automatically ingest content no matter what it looks like. So this allows you to reduce the time that you spend on loading content, which of course allows you to focus on other value-added activities. We also have the ability to create custom rules to catch problem content before it goes live. So that happens during the ingestion process. And it has a self-service UI with access to reporting, that allows you to do things like set go live dates for your content so you can preview the content ahead of time before it automatically goes live. And we'll talk a little bit about some of those details. So here's an example of a screen from our tool, which is called HighWire Express. And the HighWire Express component of HighWire hosting allows publishers with multiple content types to use the same self-service tool on all of their content types to automatically load updates as frequently as they need to. And that content is validated both by standard rules that we have to check and make sure the content is, well-formed XML, but also custom rules that can be used by specific publishers to ensure that bad or missing content is not showcased on their site. And the HighWire Express tool has a self-service UI that can be used either by the publisher or by the publisher's file provider if they're the ones that are dropping off the content. This helps you manage the loading process and see detailed reporting on any errors, which can then be corrected. This highly graphic UI shows each publisher where they are in the process, and then any errors would be flagged in red. And of course, if things are going well, they'll be green. In addition, because you can specify the go live date for the content in the future, you can preview that content on the site just as it would look to a user of the site before it is available to the users. So if there's anything else you want to change, you can do that before it goes live and becomes available to everyone. So one of the big advantages of being on a platform as opposed to developing a custom site is that publishers have the opportunity to participate in continual site enhancements that are done at the platform level. And publishers can benefit from all of the latest updates that go across the platform. Those updates might include features, but they also might include standards and infrastructure. And the platform updates include the integrated modules such as HighWire Identity and HighWire Commerce. So Scolaris has a modern, flexible, and easily configurable UI, but underneath that user-facing layer is a very robust and powerful platform with a strong and active roadmap. We're constantly expanding the capabilities of the platform, and the benefits of having a platform are too numerous to mention, but I'm going to talk about a few. The first is that the new capabilities become available to publishers when they are rolled out. Each individual publisher is not necessarily required to take advantage of new features, but if, for example, we added a new purchasing method, that would be available to all publishers as part of the platform. They wouldn't necessarily have to pick it up, but it would be available if they wanted to. We're also always adding the newest standards to the platform so that changes in technology and in infrastructure get rolled out to everyone automatically, and changes for new standards and compliance get rolled out automatically. So GDPR support, for example, got added to the platform and didn't require any additional effort from publishers. And platform features are completely supported through technology changes and very broadly tested. So publishers don't need to be concerned about the addition of new features impacting their site. Taking advantage of new platform features makes it possible for publishers to continually add freshness and update their sites with a more minimal resource investment than they would for custom features. So I want to talk a little bit about the site that you saw, which is Springer Publishing, and tell you a little bit about their story, which might be very similar to some of yours. So Springer Publishing wanted to move their digital books program online and shift between 30 to 50% of their users online because their books program had been print only up until now. And they wanted to bring their back catalog online and then support digital publishing of all their future titles. The books program also needed to integrate with the rest of their portfolio of journals, so users could make the most of ancillary materials and additional content components such as images, video, graphs, tables, and charts. They also wanted enhanced personalization features, including self-service alerts, which is a key component of the site, to transform their customer experience. And this is what they got with this platform. I'm going to show you a quote, although I won't read it to you, from Springer's Vice President of Digital Development, talking about how this actually met their requirements and how this met their needs. And if you are interested, just to take a look, you can go to the site yourself and have a look around, and that is the Springer Publishing site. So with that, I'm going to wrap up the presentation, and if you have any questions, we can take them now, and you can also see on this slide the links to additional resources that you may find interesting. And while we're waiting for questions, I will also remind you that you will get an email after this is over, which gives you the link to the presentation if you want to see it again. And that if you have any additional questions after this time, we will be happy to answer them offline. So there's a question on whether this is available now. Yes, the site is launched, and this is available for any publisher at this time. And an additional question about how this is different from J-Core or Folio, some of our other offerings, and the answer is J-Core and Folio are very specifically optimized for their content types. J-Core is optimized specifically for journals and Folio for books. This platform is focused primarily on multiple content types, and something that allows you to bring them together, and as we discussed, use those different types of content to improve discoverability for all of your content types. And I think that's it, and we're at time, so thank you very much, and hope you enjoy the presentation.